When I think of modern industrial guitar tone, I think of Fear Factory, of course, Rammstein, Three Teeth, or Godflesh. Today we'll check out the gear they use and we're gonna make a great industrial tone out of it. During the early days of Fear Factory, Dino Cazares was using a JCM 800, which he used to record the first 3 albums. It had a modded preamp section installed by Bob Bradshaw. In a recent interview, Cazares said that right now, most of the time, he's using a Camper Profiler, where he's recreating some of his old guitar tones, and of course, new ones. It's hard to say exactly what gear he's using right now, but if you want a quick solution, there's a plugin that he developed in collaboration with JST called Disruptor that sounds really good. Right now, Three Teeth is probably one of the most popular and influential industrial metal band. They pretty much change their guitar tone from song to song, so it's hard to say what they're using in the studio. But let's have a look at their live setup. On PV's website, you can see that Chase Bronner is using a 6505 amp. Also in this video of the song Shut Down, great song by the way, you can see PV cabs and amp as well. They also collaborated with Mick Gordon on their latest album. So yeah, if you want great industrial guitar tones, check out Three Teeth. What would be industrial metal without Godflesh? Their debut album, Street Cleaner, is a classic. According to this interview with Justin Broderick, the Marshall JCM 800 was also their weapon of choice. The Marshall head I use is very specific. Can't get my tone with anything else. It's an ancient Marshall JCM 800 and I use specific EQ settings. And also for that Swedish flavor, they added the classic Boss HM2. And in this more recent picture, you can see that they're using a Zoom G1XN. Rammstein needs no introduction. Like it or not, it's by far the most known industrial metal band on the planet. Richard has always been associated with Mesa Boogie.
But it was a closed room, Mesa Boogie, and I was this big guy standing and played this amplifier. And I was listening to him and I was like, wow, that's unreal. That's what I was looking for over years and years and years. Did I find the Holy Grail right now? You know, I was like, wow, that's the amp. And that's how I actually started to play those rectifiers.
But he also used Soldano amps for his solo project, Emigrate, as we can see in this picture. Also on his Guitar Tech Instagram page, you can see that he used Black Star amps. But we all know that the secret behind Rammstein's guitar tone is the blend between Paul's Sans amp and Richard Mesa Boogie. And also, of course, the genius of the riffs. Enough talking, let's design our own modern industrial metal guitar tone. So I took all the informations we gathered and I made a tone out of it. The final tone sounds like this. I recorded 2 different tracks, one that is panned hard left and one that is panned hard right. I went with the Nembrini 8180. I really like the sound of it. It has that Three Teeth flavor, which I love. Let's have a look at the settings. So the amp settings are the same for both guitars. I'm not gonna go over every knobs. You can see that I turned down the mids a bit and I turned up the presence. Both amps are on the lead channel. I'd say that the 90% of the magic is happening inside with the cab and the mics. I designed this tone with everything in the box, so you guys, if you have the plugin, you can replicate the same tone. I didn't use my own impulse responses. For the first guitar tone, the left one, I used the Mesa Cab 4x12 V30, and I also used only one mic, the Shure SM57. The distance knob is about 1/3 and the position also. And for the right tone, I used the VH Cab 4x12 P50E. And for the mic, I used the Dynamic 421. The knobs, the distant knob is at about halfway and position also. With only the Nembrini 8180 plugin, it sounded like this. So I felt like it needed more chug, more crunch. So I added a tube screamer in front of it. Much better. I turned down the drive knob all the way down. So this is with it, without. Oh, wait a second. So there's a big difference. On my left tone, there was an annoying frequency, so I added an EQ. So this is without it. And with it, you should put headphones to hear it properly. So there's a huge difference. In the whole mix, it makes a big difference. And the right tone, I didn't add an EQ. I took both guitars and I sent them to a group bus to add 2 more EQs. So with the first EQ, I took out annoying frequencies again. So this is without. And this is with it. Again, it's very subtle, and don't cut too much, like a deep cut. It's very, very bad for your tone. Then I added another EQ on my group bus just to shape the overall tone. So I took out the low end, a bit of the low end, not too much because you want that chug, and I added some high end just for more definition. This is with it. Without. As you can see, there's a huge difference. More presence. Way better. All right, time for some industrial metal.
Alternate universe located. Destruction imminent.